2. Mike Checker 212.
Oh Lord.
Mike Checker 212. Ooh, Mike Checker 212. Ooh, we in the same place. That's the song. We in the same place.
The Heat won. All right.
So yeah, we want to welcome everybody. We're gonna get into it. We are late.
Don't even get us don't even. We're gonna go past that.
But
don't even.
We late, but we together. You feel me?
In the same building.
In the same building, on the same sofa, on the same couch with M in the back, pillows behind us, and Puffs is in the building. Hello.
You know?
And the earrings. So, you guys, make sure you are, go ahead and put it in the chat box. This quality is bomb. Thank you so much, Twitter. We want to welcome everybody from Twitter, Facebook,
yes,
YouTube,
yes,
IG Live right now. We are also on Twitch. So we want to just say welcome. And we're able to see your comments no matter where you're coming from. So don't be alarmed to not put the comments in the box. We'll be able to see it, like Pluto Bridges right now. What's up, Pluto? From Twitter.
What's up?
So we're going to go ahead and start this thing off how we normally do. When we back together. Oh, this feels good. Oh, this looks good.
Without further ado, go ahead, take it away, Miss Miami.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, podcasters, Facebookers, YouTubers, IGzers, Twitterers. Oh my God, it feels so funny because she's sitting right next to me, so it's a little
throwing you off a little bit.
You're throwing me off, girl. You're throwing me off.
My bad.
We haven't done this in so long, Shay. When was the last time we got together on my couch? It's been months. Due to Corona.
It's been months, yeah.
Yeah. So we're kind of social distance, but not that much. But I just got my test done, and I have no antibodies. No corona is present. And I got the blood test too. So.
Oh, really? You got the blood test too?
Fingerprint, go.
Oh, I need to get the blood test too. Okay.
But yeah, but in the introduction of this podcast, we normally say, welcome to Brains and Beauty
Times 2. I'm Shayla.
And I'm Miami.
And tonight, guys, again, if this is your first time joining, we always go in and we basically start off just checking in with y'all, making sure everybody's good.
Yeah.
Everybody's, eating well, living well, doing the best that they can right now. And then we kind of go into what's going on currently, whether it's social media wise, politically, whatever it is, we kind of go into that. And then we get into some life and love questions.
Yeah.
Because mostly everyone always asks about those questions. So we try to get the people what the people want.
Yeah. And give y'all what we want.
And that too.
So yeah, we're going to go ahead and start this thing off first. Again, welcome to everybody from Twitter land. We got Marcus White on here. We got Sosa. We got Pluto. We got Frederick McCoy over here on IG. We got Keisha. We got everybody in the building. Hello. We're going to start with one. Let me just go ahead and start this thing off right. The Miami Heat, we are pushing ourselves up. We're almost to the championship.
Almost.
You know what I mean? So I'm not worried about anything. I know we're going to take it all the way. We're definitely going to be in the finals for sure. Not worried, honey. So this little semi thing.
Not worried, honey.
This little semi thing is just in the way for us to be going straight to the finals. So anyway, shout out to my Miami Heat.
Y'all better be happy she ain't got her hat on today. Okay. You better happy she ain't got her hat on.
Because we got work to do, and then when we get to the finals, you're gonna see a hat every week until we win. So anyway, that was my introduction that I wanted to say. What did you want to quickly shout out?
And we want to just go ahead and see what y'all was doing for. I don't really have a shout out this week.
No. I do have one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Shout out to Kamala Harris sneakers. She got off that plane, you guys. I saw this quick little video of her getting off the jet in her chucks, in a suit. I thought that was just so bomb to see from a future possible president. Well, future vice president. I'm not even going to say possible because future vice president. To see her in a full suit with chucks on, That was so dope to me. I don't know about nobody else. It was so dope to me. So shout out to Kamala.
To be casual.
Yeah, like she was just so cool and chill. Like she just walking around in her sneakers and her suit on. She just looks so fly.
Yeah.
And I just think she's bomb. So shout out to you, mama. Ma'am.
Oh, ma'am. Correction.
Yeah, shout out to you, Miss Ma'am.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and just check in with y'all and see what y'all did for Labor Day weekend. I mean, most people, y'all had a 3-day weekend. I only had a 2-day weekend, but we just wanted to make sure y'all was good. What y'all do for Labor Day? I know it was raining here.
What did you do, Shay?
I actually spent time with my husband's cousin had twins. So I've been secretly practicing being a mommy and going and visiting her, and well, not secretly, but I've been going and visiting her and spending time with her and the babies, and I just have not a newfound, but just an amazing respect for people who have multiple kids at one time, like babies at one time. I'm sure it's similar, probably just having multiple kids at one time, but 2 infants at one time, let alone 3, 4, 5, whatever, like hats off. Like I'm actually praying for twins, but woo, I told Lord, please prepare. If this is what you want me to have, prepare me, because that's a lot of work. Period. It's a lot of work. And so shout out to all the ladies out here doing the doggone thing. Whether you're by yourselves or whether you have a mate, it doesn't matter. I pray that y'all have some kind of family support system, because I feel like I learned in just a short period of time, they're 2 months. So just in this time, I've realized how important it is to have people who truly understand your plight and kind of have your back, whether they're immediate family or extended. It doesn't matter. Like if you can be there check in on y'all people. Check in on y'all people who got multiple kids. Check in, because you just don't know how they are doing.
Yeah.
So
true.
That's how I spent my Memorial Day. And I spent a little time on the beach when it wasn't raining.
Well, that's good. Not wrong with a little beachy teachy.
What you was doing?
I'm going to pick back on what you said about, what you said you got a lesson learned.
Just a lesson learned,
Yeah, lesson learned for me from Memorial Day weekend and Memorial Day.
You're taking it way too far.
Labor Day. Labor Day for me, the lesson I learned on Labor Day is that you never know what other people are going through. You never know what they face. You never know anything until they tell you. So Labor Day was a very emotional day for me. For many reasons. No need to get into the emotional part of it, but it was very emotional. And like I said, the lesson is you just never know. You would never know until that person is willing to talk to you about whatever. So that was that, and it just makes me realize to give people grace. Because you just never know what people dealing with or dealt with or have to face or the reality of something. You know what I mean? So Labor Day wasn't my normal Labor Day that I would normally have. It was definitely an awakening for me. Like I said, in a lot of ways. But the good thing about Labor Day, what I would have done, I could do it in the middle of the week, any time of the week.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But that's a good thing about Labor Day here in Miami. I can take vacation when I want. It's just that this year for 2020 was just a different type of Labor Day for me. For a lot of reasons, but my thing is give people grace, and you never know what people are facing. So,
Amen.
And what they're dealing with.
Amen.
Yeah. But otherwise, it was just a lesson learned of Labor Day. Like it was just, I'm grateful to be here, alive. But yeah, it was not my normal, at all. But still grateful.
Still can't complain.
I
could, but you won't.
But I won't.
There we go.
I won't.
There we go. All right.
So that's that. Moving on to the next. What else we said we was going to touch on tonight?
What?
Where are notes? Yeah, we got notes tonight because this is so different for us.
Oh, we wanted to touch on, because last week we completely forgot, and I don't know how we forgot this, but we completely forgot to talk about Daniel Prude. Completely forgot to mention that whole scenario and situation. If you all, again, if you've been on social media at all, there's no way you missed this or didn't hear about the gentleman who was walking away from police officers, going to get into his car that had his, I think, 3 children in the back seat. And as he went to get into his car and reach for the steering wheel, he was shot 7 times in the back. And right now he is basically paralyzed from the waist down. And the comments and stuff that people are making, again, there were so many stories about what was happening around that whole situation. First I heard he was in a domestic something. The next, he was breaking up a fight between some other women, and he just wanted to leave because now the cops were there. He felt no need to be there anymore. He was trying to get his kids out of there. I don't know the true story, wasn't there, but I just feel like it's irrelevant. Whatever happened and whatever, that was so uncalled for. Like, again, what is it? I just truly want to know, like, what is it that they are training police officers to do? Because, again, your first option is not to shoot first and ask questions after the fact. Like, that's not what you're supposed to be trained to do. And maybe, not even maybe, they need to readdress the training of police officers, because it seems to be like a almost universal thing that you shoot first and you ask questions later. Like, at no point did you think that you didn't have to shoot that man. And I just don't understand. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, there's been so many names. Like, I'm getting the doggone names mixed up right now because it's
like every week it's a new person.
It is.
And
it's really hard to keep. I want to keep up as I should be keeping up, but it's just so hard to keep up, man. I feel like every time we are facing one person and trying to go after still, like Breonna Taylor's situation, you know what I mean? Like, so many other situations, we're still trying to deal with that. And then we got other situations happening that we have to start, getting that together to get that done correctly or get justice for that. But we're still back here fighting for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a lot to give up on, but it's just a lot to keep up with. It is so much to keep up with.
It's a lot to keep up with.
And it's the same thing. It's just the same thing over and over and over and over again, to where it's just getting a little bit redundant, repetitive. And it's like, okay, what's going to happen this week? And it's just sad to even say that, but that's just how I feel. What's up, Ink Mark?
But that's exactly how it feels. It's like, it's almost like you're waiting to, like, okay, it's the end of the week. Let's see who they're gonna get this week. Like, it's
sad to even say it like that.
Yeah, like, it is sad. But what's even more sad is that I feel like the comments that you see is like, do y'all not truly understand what's going on? Like, for anyone to make comments like, oh, well, he shouldn't have been doing A, B, C, and D, or he should have stopped and not walked away from again. What does that have to do with the fact that you have supposedly a trained officer who was supposed to learn or know how to de-escalate a situation and not take it to that point?
Yeah.
Immediately take his opportunity to shoot someone. Again, he didn't attack you. He hadn't hurt you.
None of them kind of attacked you.
He hadn't done anything. And again, it's looking more and more like, and I just don't understand how people can even try to justify or defend these officers when it's clear and blatant that they're taking the wrong steps of action to be able to handle a situation. If you can't handle a situation, you don't need to be a cop. If you that scary, why are you a cop? Like, because that's what it's boiling down to. You're just scary. Yeah. Period. Point blank, you are scary. And if you are that scary, why are you a police officer?
I just rather those police officers be in our military. If they in our military, we gonna win. You feel me? Like, we would win. Like, and I hate to say it like that. I'm just trying to make light from somewhere. These guys need to be in our military because they just shoot just to shoot.
At this point.
And if that's the way you want to do it, you need to be at war. Because right now you're at war on the streets of the United States of America. You need to be in the war fighting for World War III, 4, or whatever, comes up. So it's a sad topic to always talk about, but we do want to at least bring light to it to push off our emotions on how we feel just as Black women about always constantly seeing our Black men, which could be our brothers, our uncles, our cousins, our dads, our husbands, our sons. Like, it's just like, we don't want to get down with it because you don't want to like project the fear, but it is there.
Yeah.
So we just got to find a way to not only address it. Shout out to Facebook is in the building. Miss Bonnie. What it do, boo? And Mr. Marcus White on Twitter said, if they were that scared, they could have tackled him before he even got to his car door.
Amen.
Yeah.
And again, so many other things that they always could have done differently.
Yeah.
That didn't require you to kill a person.
Yeah.
But again, where are the repercussions for them when we do something? It's it could be the smallest of things, and you get the fullest extent of the law.
Yeah.
Okay. So when it's a police officer, what we're basically telling police officers is that you are safe. If you kill someone, or if you
do whatever you want to do,
you harm someone to the point where it's permanent, you're gonna be good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, just do how you feel.
Continue to do what you got. Yeah, well, if you felt that way, that's cool. You're good. Again, when did we start saying that police officers have the right to determine who lives and dies? You don't have that. You don't have that right. That's not your job.
What's up, Trill Talk TV just joined Instagram Live. We got Frederick McCoy with a comment. He said, the police didn't do good at all. They shoot people just like they killed Breonna Taylor and so many others. Again, we still worrying about Bree. You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people name Breonna. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we could talk about this about just one podcast alone.
Yeah.
One podcast episode just alone. But it's like, when is the change gonna come? When are repercussions for these people just doing what they want to do to us compared to our white counterparts and how they get treated? We see how they treat the others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Other citizens, other Americans versus how they treat us and our men. Like, I'm just sick of it because it's our men. You know what I mean? Like, without our men and trying to project fear in our men, and then you trying to project fear on the women, which can get projected fear inside of the kids.
Yes. Who grow up to be grown men and grown, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and this is kind of passes, but we gotta somehow find a way to stop it when it comes to our part. We can't really do nothing on their end, but how we kind of set our kids up and set our husbands up for success out there in them streets.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I forgot about adding the comments to there.
Marcus White says their job is to determine who's right or wrong, not who lives or dies.
Right.
Amen. 100% agreed. Like, the quicker and the sooner that we understand that, and by law that it starts becoming a thing, like it starts becoming the norm. The norm shouldn't be, well, we know if it's a officer and going up against a black person, most likely they're probably not going home. That should not be the norm. That shouldn't be the mentality that we have in our minds. You understand what I'm saying?
Bonnie on Facebook, it got cut off a little bit, but it says, time and time again, police have shown they know how to apprehend a white person without deadly force, but us, they trigger happy. So yeah,
it's sad, but what we don't want to happen is, just because we're tired of talking about this having this conversation and constantly talking about the same thing, just another name. We do not want people to stop thinking that you shouldn't be doing anything, that you shouldn't be. Don't get so tired where now you're stagnant and you're silent and you just kind of, I'm like, oh, another black person gone, and you go about your time. Like, we still have to make sure that we're doing all that we can, that we're signing petitions, that we're calling the government and lawmakers. And that we're constantly speaking about it. Because again, the reason why this is even a big deal and why there's even a Black Lives Matter movement is because we are making it an issue. So now it's being, there's a light being shined on it, so that people are that actually have the ability to change these laws and to change these policies have to hear us.
Yeah,
we're not being silent anymore. So we can't We can't forget that.
Building people.
We cannot forget that part. It's very, very important that we do not forget that.
Okay, so I have to bring you back in.
So, on that note, we do not want to
we're waiting for Shayla Maisha IG to come back, you guys. Hold on one second, everybody. Sorry.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
What's up, Eddie Uptown on IG?
Eddie. Trill Talk TV real quick said black cops are aggressive towards us sometimes more than white cops.
Oh, most definitely. And that's just
at this point it's getting down to just cops.
Yeah.
Like we had the black cop, I forgot what city that was. I think it was in Atlanta when they pulled the gun on the little kids. They were just walking down the street because a robbery had happened.
Yes.
They didn't even talk.
Yeah.
We all have an echo. I think it's because Shayla went out. No, I think it's because when you came out and in, something must have happened. Okay, hold on, guys. Okay, let us know if we still have. Do we still have an echo? It just started. Yeah, I think it started because you came out. We may have to X out Shay and come back in.
Okay.
Okay, so it's just me and you. Ooh, baby. Hey, hey. Don't matter about a thing. Yeah, y'all auto-tune. Okay, let's I don't know what happened. Give me 1 second.
It sounds fine there. So it's just IG.
Oh, it sounds fine on Twitter. It sounds fine on Facebook. It's just IG. We're having an issue right now. IG Live. Let's see if we can get it together because we do have people on IG Live as well. So you guys get to hear from us, see us all over. So we got IG Live, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. Am I missing something?
Facebook, IG, YouTube.
Oh my God, I almost forgot about my YouTube fam and YouTube. So we kind of see everybody. Matter of fact, YouTube just stepped in the building. Jason, he said, we are spiritual beings, living a human experience. Definitely agree. As Nubians, we are seen as less than human. Some give more regards to their dogs and cats than to us as people.
Don't even get me started.
Thank you, Jason. Don't even
get me started on that right there.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason from YouTube. He continued with, we cannot succumb to these ways. We must be methodical, logical, and exercise our rights to evolve into society as equals rather than to be lesser. This is what I was saying earlier about how we can do our parts on our end, that what we can control.
Yes.
Which to try to make sure, despite what we keep seeing, despite as much as it hurt, we have to remember that we still have parts to either get into, be a part of the negativity, try to grow out of the negativity, try to still educate our young, our peers, and just do our best. So, thank you so much, Jason from YouTube. It's just so crazy. So how do we sound on IG Live, people? Do we sound better? Are we still echoing while we go ahead and continue talking to everybody else who is doing cool? Bonnie said, have we seen the teacher who called the police on a student during virtual learning because he was playing with a toy gun?
No, I didn't see that.
It was in his house. The gun was a Nerf gun, and she called the police on the little black boy.
No, I didn't see that at all. I definitely didn't see that.
So I guess the teacher was, and it was basically she just sent us a link. It's on the Washington Post, you guys. If you want to look it up, the black student suspended because of the police toy. Suspended, and police is involved with a toy gun. So that's crazy. And again, it's not just police officers. We have to deal with race. We have to deal with racism. We have to deal with Karens. We have to deal with a lot of stuff.
Huh.
So again, God created us for a reason to get through. I think we are some of the most, how can I say this? Because I'm going to sound like Nick Cannon a little bit saying this, but you know, he created us to get through a lot because we are the original people. You know what I mean? We are. So to be the first creation, I think he gave us everything to withstand. As much as we keep going through all of this stuff over and over, it makes us stronger. It makes us fight even harder. It makes us keep in mind who we are, even though despite some people in our tribe, you know,
some people,
you know, everybody ain't. But the collective, I think we're getting better as a collective, as a people, and I think we're getting there. And it just goes generation by generation.
Yeah.
So, being Black is amazing. Being Black is strength. Being Black, we get through anything from being. We can grow up poor, dirt poor, and become super rich because of the things and the gifts that we have possessed and have been gifted to be and do and give to the world. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can lose it all and come back. We can, you know, we bounce back in a lot of stuff. It's just we have to deal with everybody else noticing that and knowing that too. So we cannot be broken. We can fall down for a little bit. We may cry for a while, but we are not broken as a people. We just get stronger.
We're not. We just get
stronger. And that's the most beautiful thing about being Black, despite everybody else and how they view us.
Yes.
We know who we are. And the more we know that and the more we teach on that, I think we'll be able to withstand a little bit more. So.
Amen, sis.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on to something a little lighter.
Hate to move on, but we got to move on.
Okay. Moving on to something a little lighter, a little light.
What's light, Shay?
Okay. So let's see. During this time, I think 2020 has forced us to do a lot more reflecting on not just our everyday daily lives, but like our future and kind of where we want to go from here, or what we feel like we should be, what we realize and what we feel like we've had to change in our own lives. Yeah. So the question tonight is, what has taken up too much of your life?
In 2020?
In period. Like, what do you feel at this point has just taken up too much time in your life? Too much time, too much space. It need to go. You don't need to be dealing with that no more. Like, what is taking up too much time in your life?
What's taking up too much time in my life?
Okay, I'll go. So she's pondering. Miss Miami's pondering. So I'm going to go ahead and answer the question.
Shy. What's taking up too much time in your life?
What's taking up too much in my life?
That you can...
Constantly not worrying, but constantly kicking myself for not reacting not doing something that I should have done, and kind of getting into a funk where I'm beating myself up in my like internally. I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like I beat myself up internally. Like, I could have done this. I should have done that.
Girl, and please.
It's just taking up too much. The Lord said it needs to go. You need to stop doing that. Move on. Again, everything that happens, I think I know I've always known this, but I think I've realized it more this year than ever, is that I need to stop putting so much time in the woulda, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and then trying to perfect something that it keeps me so stagnant that I end up going a year and you still haven't done nothing, because you're trying to do something so perfectly rather than just going and stepping out there and seeing what happens. And
not jumping.
Yeah, like and I think that's in many aspects of my life. I feel like I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, I'm overthinking everything. Everything. And I can't think of an aspect in my life that I'm not overthinking. Like, I'm overthinking everything rather than just saying, I have these 3 goals. What do I want to accomplish in the next 6 months? okay, these are 3 things I need to work on. Every day I need to do something towards that.
Gotcha.
That's just dumbing it down. I think that's the best way to put it. Dumbing it down. And I have not been doing that. And so all of that has just been taking too much time in my life, and I'm over it. So I prayed that prayer this morning. Lord, let this be the last day that I do that. And I, every time it even comes in my mind, you immediately remind me who I am and whose I am.
Come on now.
And take that out, because
yeah, enough is enough.
Yeah. It's gotta be. I can't even believe I'm about to say that I'm about to be 37 next year. Like, baby, it's enough of that. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, we're gonna add some everybody's comments. So we have Marcus White from Twitter. He says, "For me, it was work, 100+ hours a week."
Woo!
Wow, wowzers. That's a lot of work.
Yeah.
We have Frederick McCoy on IG Live. He says worrying has taken up too much time in his life. We have Ink Mark on IG Live. She says worrying, not taking risk, and not living.
That's a good one.
That's a good living combination.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah.
I think for me, I would have to say, some people may say what, but procrastination in my life is very big. Mm-hmm. It may not seem as it is, but it is, because I can jump. I'm good at jumping. I'm good at starting. You're good at that. Yeah. I'm good at, getting the ball rolling. But the procrastination from the end goal, how I see it in 10 years, sometimes prevents me to take my action steps now to get to the 10-year mark that I actually see the end result. You know what I mean? So procrastination is big in my life. I also have to say beating myself up as well I have to let that go in a lot of areas. I'm very hard on myself, like extra hard, and it's good because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me reevaluating who I am. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't want it to be so heavy to where it's preventing me or stopping me from, you know what I mean? Yeah. From saying what I cannot do because I'm beating myself up.
Yeah.
So beat myself up, I think it has to be just a little, you have to have a little smidget in there. You know what I mean? Like my granddaddy used to say, little smidget, little razzle dazzle up in there. A little bit of it, but not so much, because things could be way worse. I'm handling it as best I can. But when you get the reality of things could be better, you have to try to just take those steps to make it better. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Another thing too, I can say what has to go, that has taken a lot of my time, is I don't know how to put myself in a position to get to the end result. This is all I know, is to just be me and just let it happen. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to put myself in a position to get to the end result of marriage and kids, because it's really out of my hands. Yes, I can put myself out there a little bit more. Again, I don't know what that means, but my end result for my life is to be married with kids, right? Mm-hmm. And I know I spend a lot of time on career. I spend a lot of time on making room for projects and passion work and what makes me happy. You know what I mean? And I think it will all come together as it should. But I can say I need to just put myself out there a little bit more, and I'm still learning on what that means for me. Yeah, everybody is different.
Everybody, yeah.
But for me, it's so hard to think about. It's so hard to, let me make sure I say the right thing, because words are very powerful. It's so hard to visualize what that means for me to put myself out there. You know what I mean? But other than that, I can't worry about it. I have to just continue being me and just, meet whoever on the way going. But just take it, like you said, we're getting older. Like I don't want to be so focused. I don't want to be so focused on career, money, career, and I'm not worrying about my family. So, in due time, again, I don't rush anything. I don't force anything. I know everything that is for me would be for me.
Amen.
At the same time, faith without works is dead. I'm just trying to figure out what the works is for me to put myself out there. That's really about it. Those are the top things for me that's taking up a lot of my time. But that procrastination, baby.
I gotta put this one up. Miss Bonnie says, Miss Bonnie on Facebook says, Mr. Right will be right on time for you, and opening up and being vulnerable will be easy.
Yes.
Amen.
I have to agree.
I 100% agree with that. Thank you, Bonnie, for that.
Yeah. So it's just getting my mind open to that and not just putting it on the back burner all the time.
Yeah.
Because I could put on a back burner or put it in the closet and just be done. You know what I mean? But I know I have a goal. I know what I desire. You know what I mean? So you can't just keep it in the cupboard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cupboard. I don't know where that word even came from. Keep it in a what's the cupboard? What's the name of these things?
The cupboard.
No, but what's the real name?
Cabinet.
The cabinet, girl.
The cabinet. The cabinet. My bad.
But anyway, so that's a good one. That's a good one, Shay.
That it really, and again, we brought this up because we really believe in self-evaluation and making sure that you're constantly asking yourself certain questions. Yeah. Because a lot of the times I think we don't ask ourselves the right questions on a regular basis, and then we look up and it's 3 years from now and we're like, why did we not think about this then? Why are we not asking? Why did we not attack this 3 years ago? You feel what I'm saying? So I think it's really, really big to constantly evaluate your situation. And again, it's not about beating yourself up about what you didn't do or what you didn't accomplish. You still gotta plant your feet. You still have to plant your feet and walk, though. You still have to read, like you said. Just look at. It's okay to reevaluate, and it's okay about being honest. About and that's another thing too. You have to be honest honesty. With yourself. Yeah, it's gonna hurt, and it could be shameful to you. Sometimes it's real hurtful,
but that's the reality of being a human and being someone who has to grow. We're in a new decade. You know what I mean? Like, we've been around for 3 decades already. You know what I mean? So it's just like, okay, when 2030 come, not trying to be. Yeah, exactly, you know what I mean? Exactly. So it's just reevaluate. Not be, again. You got to have some of this stuff a little bit. You got to have a little bit of self evaluation about yourself. You can't just let yourself fall off. You know what I mean? You got to be able to be on yourself and say, okay, you got to tighten up here, there, and there, and there. Thank God for the reality check. You know what I mean? So that's all it was. What it's about. So that was a good one, Shay.
All right, so thank you for everyone for that one. So we're gonna have one more.
Yeah, before they cut us off, because y'all know we do an hour every week.
All right, so one more. Okay.
If we have time to squeeze, we will, but we don't know how much longer we got.
Okay. What are the 3 most important turning points in your life so far?
The most important ones?
Most important.
Not just regular basic turning around.
The 3 most important turning points in your life thus far, and why?
The most important.
Yeah, we're doing self-reflection right now. We're doing, again, this is September. We in month 9. We're literally 2020 is almost over, and it's crazy to even say that. But 2020 is almost over. So we're doing some self-reflecting right now.
Okay, I think I got something.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right, 3 most important.
I know one came up off top.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm going to just go in timeline wise. So the 3 most important turning points in my life, one has been leaving Miami, going to college was one of the most important things in my life, because that showed me who I was, how I was growing, what type of woman I was going to come into, you know what I mean? Exploring myself as a young woman, going into adulthood, like meeting different people outside of Dade County, you know what I mean? Like, it was a turning point because it helped develop me as a woman. Okay. For the years after college, you know what I mean? So college is definitely one of them. The second one for me, what they said? Oh, the second one, I think a most important turning point in my life was VH1, and why VH1 is a turning point in my life, an important one, is because it allowed me a platform for many different reasons, especially today when I do HIV advocacy and I'll be doing some other stuff, you know, as I've been thinking about other things I can just be an advocate for. So HIV advocacy, it gave me a platform to do that. Of course, it gave me other platforms, But it really, the most important thing that VH1 did, being on Flavor of Love and being on I Love Money, it gave me an outlet when my mom passed. It kept me busy. It grew me in a way that I can deal and still be myself. A lot of people get lost in that type of stuff. And I think I may have had small moments of dealing with the limelight, before you get cut off, the limelight or whatever. But it made me grow into more of a humbling person in front of people's eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the main thing about that, like I said, was just, it was there for me when I lost my mom. It was such a great outlet. Some people may say, you know, they needed therapy, they needed more family and more friends and more whatever. Those shows took me away of the reality of what I lost. Because that loss ended up trickling down to other stuff too. Not just my mom, just family, period. So I have to say that because I still have a platform, like I say, to do HIV advocacy and talk to people just because of that, which is great.
Yeah.
The third most important turnaround in my life, turning point in my life was my rededication to God. And that was in 2013. And when I rededicated my life to Christ, and I got saved in 2007. But when I rededicated my life, me and my spiritual life has just been different. My faith has just been different. My trust in God has just been different. And I have not had an easy life. After my rededication, a lot has happened. But I know who's my everything. So that's one of the most important things that I have ever experienced in my life. Because you're going to go through bad things, y'all. You're going to have trials. You're going to have... Being a Christian does not VIP you an easy life. Being a Christian gives you strength to get through the storms and the trials and the fires and the bullets. You know what I mean? So that's the most important thing. And I'm so appreciative of it. And I'm grateful for that moment that it happened and shifted for me.
Yeah.
So that's that. But yeah, I don't want to get into that whole spiel, but my Christianity is all that I have and all that I need when it's good times and when it's bad times, because it's been some bad times. So, but he's with me, and it makes me pull back, and like I'm pulling back now, and just be so grateful. I'm just so grateful. I'm
trying to cry. She's making me cry.
That's that. Do we have any tissues around here?
I didn't expect to be crying on this.
I'm sorry, guys. When this deal is real.
Oh my God.
So, and I messed up my shirt.
Oh God, and I just snatched my whole earring off. Y'all
just take the wig and the earrings off.
Okay, so we gonna just keep it G on this one, so because I can't deal with this no more. Okay, be strong, Miami. I can't read the rest of that, but okay. So the question for anyone who's just joining, we apologize. Well, we don't apologize for the tears. It's life, and it is what it is. Yeah. But the conversation or topic that we're on right now is basically what are the 3 most important turning points in your life thus far.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you're 20 something, doesn't matter if you're 30 something, it doesn't matter whatever age you are.
Yeah.
Everyone has things that changed their life, whether it was for the better or worse.
Yeah.
And right now we're more so focused on we try to focus on the worst. Again,
yeah.
It's important to acknowledge those moments, because a lot of times those you don't realize how those moments dictated or changed how you reacted or what you've done thus far. So it's important to be honest with yourself, but at the same time, we like to focus on the more positive things in life and go forward from there. But we are honest with ourselves about the things that are not. But for our show purposes, we like to keep it positive, baby. So we're going to keep it positive. Right now, I would say my 3. Those are really good.
Yeah,
those are really good. I was trying to control it. My vein right here was like, you're done. Okay, so the 3 most important turning points in my life, I would say at this point, I would say marriage has definitely just kind of watching different people. I think I grew up watching a lot of people be married, and I know a lot of people who did not get to see that, didn't witness that. And I think almost everybody that I was around was married. I just saw it all the time. So now that I'm married, I see the things, I recognize things that I didn't recognize before. I realize that I feel like it's helped me to learn to grow, that I can't be selfish. I can't be,
wow.
I'm always thinking about somebody other than myself, which is so important to me because I never want to be doing anything or be in a place in my life where I'm only worried about me. I feel like I've seen that in my life growing up, and I always never wanted to be that. And it's just funny that when you get into a relationship with someone and it becomes a lifelong commitment, you start focusing. Everything I do is, okay, I'm doing A, B, C, and D, but okay, well, where's they? What, how are we getting, everything is, I can't be selfish. I have to grow. Yeah. I have to put down my pride. I have to learn how to communicate. All of these things that force you to grow up. Yeah. They force you to grow. You have no choice. You have to, if you want it to work, if you want it to be successful. And, so I would think that's one of my most important turning points.
Okay. It's a great one.
And also it has taught me the importance of forgiveness. And that's not shade. That's just real. That's just real. It teaches you the importance of forgiveness. And learning to be able to deal with something that's hard. And
oh my God. As you're saying that right now, like everything you're saying, I'm sorry to cut Shay off, but the forgiveness and the thinking about somebody else and basically eliminating yourself. For those who are single, that's what Christianity is for me.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy you said that is actually for real in marriage. You got somebody accountable, like physically touching, like, hey, tighten up. But yeah, go ahead, Shay. Sorry.
No, it's so true. But I think the biggest part of it is learning forgiveness.
Yeah.
And learning to not hold grudges. And you can't, because you'll never be happy. You'll never move forward. You'll never get over hurdles. You'll never.
That's deep, though.
It forces you to step outside yourself and to love unconditionally.
As close.
Even when that person gets on your nerve. Okay. Even when that person is bothering the crap out of you. Even when that person is not your favorite person right now. Like, it teaches you all of that. For me, it has. So I'm so appreciative of that, and I pray that this is, until I close my eyes, this is who I'm going to be with forever. Other most important turning point in my life, being able to live close to my family members before 2 of them passed away. Within 2 or 3 years of each other. I think 2 years of each other. My mother took care of my grandfather and my aunt in her house when she lived here. My aunt died, I want to say maybe 3 years ago. And my grandfather died almost a year ago. And it not only changed my mother, but it helped me to, again, learn to think of people outside of myself. And I think that's always my biggest thing when I'm talking to my Lord and Savior is never let me wish for things that have no one else in mind. I don't want to just be blessed. I don't want it just to be me. I need it to be me so that I can be able to bless others. And I think that it's been so important for me to be able to learn that. And I think family is always the hardest thing to deal with. Because you love them, but they get on your nerves because they know the buttons to push. But that was the hardest, but it also helped me to see to have a certain kind of connection with my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's that.
Oh,
and my third one, I can't really think of a third one. I think those are, for me, so far the most important ones. Well, not even. I'll go back to college. I grew up around a lot of people who were not
Black. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I grew
up. She is now Miss Black.
I grew up very. I'll say sheltered. I'll use that. I grew up very sheltered. I grew up very well off and privileged. That's just, it's a lot of things that a lot of my friends went through. I never experienced. A lot of things my husband went through. I never experienced.
Yeah.
I never really saw like that. And so when I got older and when I was able to choose what college I was going to go to, I was so determined to go to a school that had predominantly Black people. I'm like, my parents are too pro-Black, and so for me to not be around people that I feel like are just like me, like I feel like I've always been around like a lot of, white or Caucasian or Spanish or whatever people. Yeah. So I decided to go to FAM, and I think that was one of the best decisions I have ever made in my life. And I will say it for two reasons. I met a lot of my lifelong friends there, people who have become my family. I've become more like family there, and I've learned so much about myself, and I felt so much more comfortable about being me, embracing my uniqueness, I guess is the best word to it, embracing how I really felt, the kind of never feeling like I had to just kind of sit back and just be quiet and observe. Like I learned to own my voice.
Yeah.
There. And so I just grew up as a person. I made mistakes in college, but I also grew and did some really great things in college as well that I took on into my adult life. So I would say those are my three most important turning points in life. And we're going to go ahead and read some comments because we are, I'm sure, going to shut down real soon.
They're going to shut us down.
So Bonnie says Bonnie on Facebook, hey Bonds, says entering my 30s was one of them. Okay. That's a good one. I forgot all about that one. That's a good one. Motherhood. Oh, girl, when I tell you, we cannot wait.
We can't wait for that to be our top 3 in a couple of years.
Okay,
it's coming.
And she says marriage. And yes.
Those are good 3.
Those are good 3, boo. Again, we are simply asking these kinds of questions on this. Again, normally, y'all, we know we're normally really laughy and talking about fun and kind of more funnier or more funny relationship questions. But this one, we wanted to just keep it a little more light and do some self-reflection. We like to kind of do that occasionally. So, let's see. Frederick McCoy was telling us not to cry.
I know. Trill Talk said be strong. I know. You know what, you guys? I heard something today about it's okay to cry. It is okay. I know sometimes it may feel like you're not strong enough and all of that. No, it's okay to cry. That's an emotion that God has granted us and gave us and blessed us with, because sometimes I feel like some things just come through it. Yeah. It come through the tears and it exits your body. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you don't want to do it every day, all day, but it's okay to cry. But
it's okay when you need to. Yeah. And sometimes you need to.
Yeah. And sometimes you just got to. And you have to, and you're forced to. You know what I mean? But overall, I do want to touch real quick. We are coming up on our anniversary, you guys. Last week we celebrated our first year as a podcast officially, but our 2-year mark is coming up on the 18th of this month of us just sitting on this couch doing this show called Brains and Beauty ×2, and how much we have evolved from 2018 when we started this month 2 years ago. So it has just been a journey.
It truly has.
And it's just crazy how time has flown.
It has. And, I learned there's so many things I learned during this entire process of when Angie first talk to me about wanting to do something like this, I was like, my mom, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm really going to be good with this.
She took forever to decide.
I really did take forever, but
it was on time.
So glad that she did. Again, you learn so much about yourself when you start to try new things, and you learn good things about yourself and you learn bad things about yourself. And it's important that, again, the self-reflection is so important.
Yeah.
I learned what I have problems with. I learned what I'm good at. I learned what I have a passion for.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we want to make sure that everyone understands and remembers about your own lives, is that if there's something that you're trying to do, or there's something that you're even interested in doing, just do it. Just you don't know. Like, just try. You truly have no clue where that thing will take you. Maybe it will be in that same lane, or maybe that lane will take you to the lane you're supposed to be in. You don't know. So,
or just a mentality, or just a mental state of just who you are, just growing into yourself, and being more comfortable with yourself.
Exactly.
Seeing your highlights of who you are. You want to take those certain things about yourself and highlight those because you think that represents you very well.
Yes.
Like you said, the things that you don't, you see them. You take them out.
They're put on the forefront when you start new things. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're put on the front. You're like, okay, I can't deny that's true. So you have to, it's like you have to acknowledge those things, and you have to determine whether you're going to change them or whether you're going to let them defeat you. And that's just kind of like, this entire process has definitely done that for me. This one has made me learn how to do
everything.
There's so many things I have learned how to do just from doing this podcast. It's absolutely crazy. Like, you couldn't tell me 2 years ago I would have been doing the stuff that I'm doing. So
exactly,
it's been a blessing, and
it's just our anniversary.
Yeah,
you guys, we are, like I said, we're past the first year of the official podcast on Apple and on the network and stuff like that. And 2 years would be, I think, next week as the official show. So it's just been dope. We counting down on IGTV. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, from IG Live, from Facebook Live, from Twitter Live, from YouTube Live, from Twitch Live, just everybody on a live. We thank you guys, and most importantly, we want to thank the podcast who are just sitting there listening to us. They're not watching us. They're literally just listening to our voices, you guys, and listening to you guys respond to us as well. Aww. We want to thank the Brains and Beauty family and the co-hosts for keeping it going and giving us strength in times and we need it. So.
Yeah, and we thank y'all for being great listeners, and we thank y'all for joining in on the conversation.
Yeah, 100% tuning in.
Thank y'all so much. We noticed some of these names we see on a regular basis,
week,
and just because we don't, we may not mention it on that particular episode doesn't mean we don't see it. So
we see it,
we definitely do,
and we appreciate it. True Talk said, "I'm not day 1, but I'm like day 15." See, that's the family we're talking about.
We feel you.
But the rest of the seconds counting down on IG, we want to say good night to you all and see you at the anniversary podcast.
Yeah.
Recording soon.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else, until next week, man. We out of here. Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good afternoon. And good morning to our podcasters all over the place. And y'all have a blessed one. Thank y'all for joining in.
Bye.
Bye.